Hi there, Becca Neeson coming to you from the FemCycle Collab with another women-centric ZRL Recon. This week we are back in New York and we're covering everything Bagel as a point style race. So here's the course profile that I've taken from ZwiftInsider along with the estimate for how long it'll take based on how fast you're riding. And this is a long course for anyone. Even the fastest fasties are going to take a long time. Only 3 segments are at play, but I put the course profile in instead of the Velo viewer because I want you to be able to see where they are on the course. You can see that the first KOM, the KOM reverse, is up pretty quick out of the gates, and it is not in play. So it is not a segment. However, you will get a power up at the top. You're going to get an anvil power up when you cross the reverse KOM banner here. And most likely want to use it on the descent, probably here. And I'm going to talk in a little bit about how to use that descent. Then you've got rolly, 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 rolly. You'll see on my course notes that I don't even put in pinch points at this point because the course notes would be about 5 pages long. There is no flat. It's up or down. Sometimes major up, sometimes major down. So after about 13 kilometers, you're going to hit the first sprint. I'm going to put in a short clip of that while I talk about it, while we're looking at the course notes. Then you're going to continue up and down lumpy bumpy until you climb up the glass road here. That's another major one on my course notes. And then you're going to head towards your second segment. Each of these segments has first through the segment, FTS, fastest through the segment, and first across the line, FAL. FTS only for the top 5 and FAL for the top 20. So again, FTS is not a major part of this course, which can instruct how you use your power-ups. You're going to get anvil at the first KOM, as I mentioned, feather at the second segment, at the sprint, anvil at the third, and a feather at the fourth. Anvil makes you heavier going downhill, but it's only working if you are at a greater than negative 1.5%. It will not penalize you if you use it on the flats, but it won't help you. And the feather lasts for 30 seconds and it'll make you lighter for 30 seconds. You can use it for a sprint if you'd like, but most will probably use it on one of the many, many uphills. So for a bike, I'm still on my Dogma, but I'm going to pair it with the 7.8s, the NV 7.8s. And a Tron would also be a great idea. So you see them modeled here with New York kit and New York hat from my friend Vanessa. And as far as a race song to put on from the New Yorker in my house, I'm going to say Empire State of Mind, but make it a dance remix if you can, because the beat's really going to help you for all of those minutes that you're racing. So let's take a look at the course notes. Right out of the gates, you're going to go downhill and then it's going to be uphill for a while. So this KOM is a little annoying in that there's a large lead-in to the KOM. So you think, oh, the KOM's not that long. It's really long because it's about 2 kilometers of climbing. And both of these climbs are kind of stepped, where it's steep and then flat, steep and then flat. And I think I've talked before about getting your RPM up high enough where you don't feel like you're dragged down and in the 50 RPM range, which is really painful. The descent, which is going to be my major focus, is super tuckable. There's at least 3 spots on the course where you can super tuck, but couple things to know. If the grade flattens out, you will come out of your super tuck and lose speed quickly. If you are not up to speed, then it's wasting time and you won't get as much of a rest. And if you're in a pack and not at the front, you will not super tuck. So that first descent, you need to be going fast enough to get the most rest. So the segment or the KOM banner is at 4 kilometers. And if you can push through that banner and across the flat bits, you can get 3 different spaces to super tuck. An initial super tuck right at 4.2, but then you need to come out of it by 4.4 And what you do is you come out of your super tuck and you ramp up really quickly, like a short sprint effort. And then you'll have to come out at those distances that I point out here. Then you've got a lot of lumpy bumpy on the glass road. And then you have another super tuck opportunity at the top as you're coming off the glass road onto the streets. However, you have to push hard to get over Harlem Hill. So it's going to go flat, and then it's going to, the grade is going to pitch up to about 8%. So you need to push hard in order to maintain that speed over the cap. I'm going to take a look. We're talking about the New York Sprint next. That's after you come down all the way on the west side of Central Park, where it's very lumpy bumpy. You're going to hit an incline right before the sprint, and that is a very technical part of this course. So I'm going to switch to a video of it as we talk about it. Okay, and here we see the lead in to the first sprint that's at play. You can see the grade pitches up quite a bit, and then you're going to go over the cap, and the starting line is right over the cap as you start to descend. The sprint itself is negative 4.3%, and it's quite short at 150 meters. So you're going to come over the cap, and you need to push to get up to speed in order to go through that banner at speed. Okay, after you come through that sprint, you're going to receive a feather, and you probably want to save that feather for the next segment at play, which is at 24.3 kilometers. Before you get there, very rolly, there's a descent and an opportunity super tuck. Again, you need to be at the front of whatever group you're with. Please be with a group. And you need to push hard in order to get the opportunity to rest. So then you have the glass climb, which is not an insignificant climb. And if it was another course, it would probably be something to break into pieces. But for this one, because there's a lot of them, it's just about 700 meters of steady climbing, and then it steps out. So there's a flat, and then an up, and then another flat. So just be aware of your positioning, because you want to be able to rest a little bit before the KOM. So the second KOM is 1.4 kilometers as an average of 6.5%. So there are 3 separate steep steps. There's FAL for the top 20 and FTS only for the top 5 times through. So if you've saved your power up, just make sure that you use it at a point where you can get all 30 seconds worth of benefit. So if you use it when you're almost at the top of one of the steps, then you really won't get the benefit of it. So try to time it so that you use it in the middle or in the beginning of one of the 3 steps. And remember to push through the top. The banner is obviously at the top, but then there's some flat pieces afterwards, and you won't get an opportunity to super tuck on the first descent very much at all unless you push hard to get up to speed. So you have an opportunity to super tuck right at 26 kilometers, but you have to push in order to get that rest, and then you have to come out of it at the points that I list here. So after that, you go again up and down and all around, and then you're going to hit the New York Sprint reverse. We're going to take a look at that here. Okay, I just want to show you the second sprint as well, because you can see it's a descent and then an ascent within the segment itself. So short 230 meter sprint, but with a downhill and an uphill to conquer. Okay, so after you go through that sprint, you're going to go up the west side and go over to the east side of New York, of the Central Park, to finish out pretty flat to finish. So use your feather as you need it, right? You can use it to launch an attack. You can use it to stay in contact with the group on the rollers on the west side. You can save it for the finish. If you're not with a group, then I wouldn't save it for the finish. If you are with a group, then maybe you want to. It'll help with your acceleration. So that's all I got for this week. I'm going to attach the Recon on the back of it. Good luck to everybody, and try to stay strong and stay with a group and talk to your team through this, because it's a long one and it's a really difficult one with 3 pretty technical points opportunities. So remember, a points course is not all about your finish order. It's about the points that you pick up along the way. So if you can save energy to hit it hard at the sprints, or if you're a climber, save it for that second KOM and try to get FTS and FAL for your team. That's the name of the points game. So good luck, everybody.